Again, please bear with me while I try and get this camera set up. As usual, it resets as soon as I hit the live button. Oh, that's too far. Goodness gracious. This drives me bonkers sometimes. So, how are you today? Oh, now it's flipping. I'm sorry. I just can't quite get it right. I don't want to... Oh, that's too far again. My goodness. You guys are so patient with me and this dang thing. I'm trying not to use my usual cuss words. I've got a terrible potty mouth, so I'm trying to not do that. How are you today? Have you slept? Have you eaten? Are you well? I'm having a bit of a funny day. I started a new medication a couple of days ago and I don't know if it's it, but I'm feeling a bit weird. Don't know. So I wanted to come, I've got a few things lined up today. We might be here for an eternity, but I wanted to double check these stitcheries with the people that are interested in them. I thought I had some more, but I don't think I've really got any that I'm ready to part with yet. I will keep looking out for some. So this is one that Kathleen would like. I'm just double checking that I've got the right ones. So I think this is one that Kathleen said she would like. It's a cheval set or Duchess set with the cross stitch, the flowers, and then some of the cross stitch has already been done. So there's that one for Kathleen. I've read over what you've said you wanted, Kathleen, several times. In my head today, I don't even know how to explain. Put it this way, I've been trying, I thought I'd get on here and do a video yesterday. I ended up having to go out unexpectedly. My ex-husband, or my children's father, whatever we want to call him, wanted some assistance. His dog is whelping, but she's been at it since Thursday. So we've been getting a bit worried about her. Yesterday she had a bit of discharge, so we took her down to the vet, to our regular vet, and she said that she needed an emergency cesarean, but we had to go to the RSPCA. They closed at 12 o'clock. It was 12 o'clock when she was telling us, so we wouldn't have made it there. This is another one I believe Kathleen would like. The two little floral doilies. This is one for Kathleen. Just double checking again that I've got the right ones for you. So we weren't going to make it to the RSPCA, so we decided to look up for the next animal hospital that would be open, that might be able to do the emergency surgery. So we drove all the way down the coast, and they had the same situation. They only had one vet on staff and needed at least two to be able to do the surgery, so they couldn't help us either. They did say they could monitor her until 4 o'clock, but then we'd have to bring her home anyway. So we've brought her back home. This is another one that I believe you wanted, Kathleen. This is the, what did we call it? The conventional conventional table mat with those stains on it. I could have soaked these and washed them. The reason I didn't is because I did one years ago. I think I was still at school. I soaked one years ago and all the stamp washed away. So I don't want to lose the stamp before it's stitched. That's why I haven't washed them. I don't know where they've come from. I bought them like this last week. So I don't know what the stains or the marks are. Age spots, I don't know what they are. So they're the ones that I thought Kathleen wanted. Now, someone else showed some interest. I think your handle is So Bits Kristy. And I'll show you the ones, you probably already know, the ones that are left. And let me know, Kristy, if you wanted these. Otherwise, we'll pass them on to someone else. This is the Duchess set, or Cheval set, with the autumn leaves on it. So that's what the colours they suggest. It's got the crochet pattern there attached as well for the edging. The 3-piece pure linen. And this one's called a vanity set. There we go. I get it wrong every time. They're all the same thing. Duchess set, Cheval set, vanity set. It's all the same thing. So I was just seeing if it had Irish linen written on it. It has, certainly has pure linen. This one doesn't seem to have many marks at all. There's a couple of rust spots which I assume are from the staples. But that was one that Kathleen did not want, I believe, if I've got it all correct. And the next person in line who was interested was So Bits Kristy. Oh goodness me, I've got I'm assuming it's from this new tablet. I've got an awful, awful taste in my mouth. It's sort of a bit metallic, I suppose. Here's another one that Kathleen was not interested in. So again, this So Bits Kristy is the next in line. And this is pure Irish linen. It's beautiful linen. And this is the birds. This is the one I got the doily, and then when I went to the shop the other day, a couple of weeks later, I actually found this that goes with it. So I bought that as well. This one has some marks on it. Looks like a bit of a watermark, water stain here. It has quite a bit of marking on it. There's some more on this bird. I think I showed that the other day. There was a bit around here. And look, I don't know if that'll wash out or not. I always assume they will, but in saying that, the linen I've been soaking the last few days hasn't been coming up as clean as what I would have thought it would. So that's another one. So Bits Kristy was next in line if she was interested in that one. And then there's the cutwork one, another one. If So Bits Kristy is interested, I like this one too. I didn't want to part with any of these, but look, really, when am I going to get them all done? This is another Cheval set or vanity set. This one has been started. Beautiful stitching in that corner. The back's nearly as neat as the front. This edge has been done. This edge has been done. This one has been started. And that's about it. I can't, with my naked eye, The only marks I can see on this set is this rust down here that I assume is from this staple. I probably should take that out, shouldn't I? I try and leave everything original and authentic, but if I leave that in, it's just going to rust more. So let's take that out. This fabric, it's another staple. It's supposed to be linen, but it doesn't feel like linen to me. If it is linen, it's a linen blend. It actually feels like it might have some wool in it to me. It's a lovely fabric, whatever it is. It just doesn't feel like a typical linen. It might be a more modern textile as opposed to these vintage ones. I don't know. I don't know if this one's old or not. It's just a bit unusual compared to what I'm used to. It feels lovely. It almost feels, I want to say it feels hairy, but it's not hairy. I don't know how to describe it. So there's that one, that 3-piece set that has been started. So again, the first 3, if I've got this correct, are for Kathleen. The second 3 I've made available. The next in line was for So Bits Kristy. So let me know in the comment. I guess, Kathleen, if you can confirm that I've got the correct ones for you. And then Kristy, if you'd like those. I still have this zipper available, a big chunky neon zipper. I just have one at the moment. I thought I might put one in a, the vintage collage stitchery that I'm doing that was inspired by the Roxy sisters, and then Beck of So Be curated. I thought I might put one in one of the pouches, but I mean, it's very chunky. I don't know how it would go. Beck often puts a pop of neon in hers, and I have bought some zippers from her, but they're not this chunky. I thought that might be something a bit different. So I'm making one of those available if anyone's interested in the zipper. I don't know if I showed you all. I probably shouldn't show you all the linen I've got in my personal collection, because then you're all going to want to buy it as well. I've got a bag full here at the moment. I know I've got, I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I've got another tablecloth with the willow pattern, the willow, beautiful willow pattern with the little pagoda and the little bridge, and it's usually in blue and white. I thought I had one of those, but I can't find it. I don't think it's been worked. This is one I've got in my personal collection. I haven't started it yet, but it's stunning. These cottons came with it. They're all Clark Anchor. Clark's, let's double check. Maybe they're not. I thought they were. Don't know what they are. They don't seem to be branded, but that doesn't matter. The edge has all been hand crocheted. It's quite a nice edge on that one. There's a lot of stains on this one. I'm assuming they're age spots because this tablecloth hasn't been used because it's not finished. But look at, there's a lot of marks in there. I don't know if you can see, a lot of spots. Look at the work that has been done. Look at that. It's absolutely stunning. So I do have dreams of finishing this. It's large, it's a large tablecloth. And I'm guessing let me have a look. It's about 1.5 meters long and about maybe 2 meters wide, 1.8 wide, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's got this ring of flowers all the way around it. Well, it's an oval, and then there's flowers scattered around the edges. This work that's been done is absolutely stunning. I don't know how else to describe it. Let's look at the back. Look at the back of the work. That's how I've been taught to stitch. Not that mine turns out like that, but isn't that incredible? So, there's that one. That's one of my pieces in my personal collection that I hope to finish one day very soon. I haven't even picked it up yet. I just want to do all the things. That's my problem. Are you like that? I've actually I applied to get a Made It store. I think it was back in September. Might have been earlier than that. And I was approved. I had to put in my submission with my portfolio. And I was approved, and I do have some stock here on hand that I have handmade. Very different to what I'm doing at the moment though. But I haven't been able to upload. I'm having so many troubles with my phone trying to upload images and information and whatnot. But I want to get some of these needlebooks and things done to upload to it. Of course I've made a mess of that. So that's one in my personal collection. I cannot find I'm sure I've got a willow pattern tablecloth somewhere. This is one I was given recently. It's just a doily, I suppose. And it's got, I didn't like it at first, but it's really growing on me. It's got, I suppose, flamenco dancers, is that what you call them? It's called Regal. Oh, La Fiesta, there we go. This pattern was not with this again. I found this in the shop the other day on its own. And this is for a tablecloth. But it's the same design, so it's got the same man and the same lady. Here's the lady. It's the same lady there. So I'm assuming I could just use this to do the edge and the... So that's another one in my personal collection. So I was still telling you about my ex-husband's dog, wasn't I? The vet gave us some medication. She had an ultrasound and a few other tests done. They were able to find one puppy. The vet said there could be two. There might be one hiding behind the one they could find with the ultrasound. But at this stage it looks like there's only one. So at this stage we're hoping that the puppy won't be born. It was very healthy. It had a good heartbeat. It was all good. We're hoping that it won't be born before tomorrow morning because we've booked her in to have a cesarean. And there's two main reasons. One reason is because she's been whelping since Thursday. She's been in labour since Thursday. And the second reason is because there's only one puppy in there, I've got a feeling it's going to be a big puppy and she might not be able to get it out on her own. So this is another one in my personal collection. Again, this image is for a tablecloth, but it's the same pattern. They look like, I thought they were roses, I've just realised they look more like hibiscus. Pure linen. Does it have a name? Doesn't seem to have a design name. But this one's all cross stitch. And it's a table runner. So that's folded in half that you can see there. There's another one for me to get started on. Oh, there's the table. Oh no, it's not the same design. I was going to say there's the table runner, but it's not. Okay. I'm trying to go through these quickly because I'm not boring you, because I have shown some of my personal collection before. So I'll probably be doubling up. You probably go, I've seen that before. Yes, you have. I've got these two. These are just cut work doilies. That noise must sound terrible to you guys through there. I'd like to try and do these ones. These are two that I am thinking of making available, but I just can't part with them yet because I am thinking I might give them a go. They're just the same, couple of cut work. They've got marks on them too. Semco brand, that one. Got this one says a serviette or napkin, I think, and it has been started. Another one in my personal collection. Serviette. It has been started. I don't know if I'll leave that or undo it and start again, simply because I can see some errors and it's not as neat as what I would like to think I would do it. Those crosses don't all cross over each other in the same direction either. So I might undo that one. I like the purple though. But I don't know if I'd do it all in purples. Don't know. Might have to Google and see if I can find a colour suggestion for that one. I've got 3 more sandwich trays. The little... I've got one I've started as well that I haven't finished. This one's got, I assume they're nasturtiums. They look like nasturtiums to me. Sandwich tray. I was correct. I doubt myself sometimes. There's another little sandwich tray. That one's cute. I don't think that one would take too long to stitch. And another sandwich tray. So these ones would be good to make little needle books or pockets in the needle books, or little pouches, there's a few things we can do with these, so I'd like to get those stitched. I'm dropping them all now behind me. I've got them on a stool behind me as I'm going. This is another in my personal collection. This is not linen. I don't know if this is... It feels a bit like homespun to me, or calico. Very old calico. You don't get calico like this anymore, this quality. But I wonder, and I might be wrong, I wonder if it's actually feed sack. Because I've seen, it looks like feed sack to me. And either someone has, I don't know if feed sack came out with these already printed on them. I know feed sack came out from the 30s, I believe, with 20s or 30s with printed designs on them that people use to make dresses and aprons and things. But I don't know if they came out with embroidery printed on them. If they didn't, I know that some of these were stencils and you just iron them on. I've actually got some around somewhere that I've bought that are vintage, the stencils. So it could potentially be feed sack. I don't know. If anyone does know for sure, let me know. This is one of my favourites at the moment. I was hoping, only last week I was thinking I'd love one with native animals or flowers on it. And I got this one. It's got koalas. So that's going to be on my priority to stitch up, but it does have some rust on it. If I stitch this one up, I don't think I'll be cutting it up. I'll be keeping this one. Some of them, especially the ones that are really stained, it's likely that I'll cut them up to put in other projects. But this one might go in my little Australiana collection. I have a lovely linen tablecloth that's already, someone's already done all the work with flowers on it. This is another tablecloth I have. It has, that doesn't look like a tablecloth, but it is. Looks like a doily, doesn't it? Oh, it is attached. Silly goose. Doesn't say. No. So this is 36 inch by 36 inch square, so for starters that's not square. So there's a lot of stains on this one, a lot of marks on it, but it's a lovely, very pretty sort of Art Nouveau style design on it with the flowers. Don't know what kind of flowers they are. I've just got 4 petals. So that's another one I'd like to work up, embroider myself. Some of the linen in these is just beautiful. I mean, all the linen is really. Here's another one I'd like to finish. I'm not convinced I'll be able to match the thread though. This is definitely linen, this one. But it looks a little bit like that one that I thought might have been feed sack. Guaranteed pure Irish linen, it says here. Set of 3, we've got the 3 here, 2 squares and the rectangle up here. And most of this top one has already been stitched. Quite fine stitching. It's not the neatest back I've seen, but it's not the messiest either. So there's another one in my personal collection. Probably should finish the ones that are started, because a lot of work's already been done, isn't it? I could start with those. So I've been trying, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, I can't remember, I'm sorry, I'm so tired. I've been trying to record this. I was going to record yesterday, and then I got a phone call to go to the vet, and that took nearly all day. And then I've been out here since 11 o'clock. I sat up at 11 o'clock this morning, set up. It was before 11 o'clock actually. And I've had interruption after interruption. This is another one that's unfinished that I should just finish off in my collection. All it needs is the crochet edge. All the stitching's been done. So I just need to do an edge on that one. That's a My Art pure linen one. I like that one. The more I look at it, the more I like it. I wasn't fussed at first, but it's grown on me. It's very finely stitched, those flowers as well. Another in my personal collection. You're probably getting sick of seeing these. I don't think I've shown this one before. Just a rectangular doily. It's cross-stitched. I don't often see the cross-stitch ones. Has some marks on it. In fact, I think I've only just come across these in the last couple of weeks, the cross-stitch, all the cross-stitch ones I have. Embroider with Semco stranded cotton, it says in the corner there. I'm sure we don't have to use Semco. It is a Semco linen, pure linen. So there's another one for me to work up. There's roses. That's a pretty one. Another tablecloth. I like this one because it has birds. There's a lot of staining on this one though, a lot. So I don't know how I'll go with this one. Beautiful linen again. Absolutely gorgeous. And it has these beautiful, I love the birds. Don't know if there's 2 or 4 birds. There's 4. This is a 36 square inch tablecloth. Pure linen, lots of stains. See these? Don't know what it is, but it's all through it. The whole thing is covered in this staining, but there's other marks on there as well. Don't know what it all is. Don't know if it will come off. Don't know if it's going to be worth me stitching it all and then find out that those marks don't come out. I guess I could potentially harvest it, cut it up and use the birds in other projects, which would be very hard to do, but that's an option. Then I've got another in my personal collection. This is an unusual linen. It's just fine, a bit finer, but more rigid, more tightly woven, more pretty birds. I'm quite excited about these because I've wanted birds for years and I've only just come into, there's 2, this is another Duchess set, so there's the 2 little ones. And then the bigger one on the other side. All pure linen, 3-piece set. This is Faultleys, Faultleys. And I might be wrong, but I didn't Google that. I came across one earlier today on eBay under that name, and I'd never seen it before. And I'm sure the person that was advertising this linen had said that it was an old Australian brand. Now, I don't know. I haven't heard of it before, and I'll have to do some research myself to confirm or deny that. It's another little one. I thought this would be a good one to finish off and use in the Needlebooks. Just a little, it's got a lot of marks on it again, a lot of staining. I was going to say that's cotton, but it could, I think it is linen. It's very fine. I'm nearly done. I don't think I've shown you this one yet either. This is another in my personal collection, obviously. A lovely, beautiful linen, this one. I mean, I keep saying that, they all are. I'm starting to think this is more modern because it's a different linen to what the others are. It's quite thick. The Semco brand is a more modern stamp, I believe. All pure linen, but it's a runner. Has it got the length here? No, I can't read it. So it's a runner, it's folded in half, and it's got, if you can see, it's got butterflies. Aren't they beautiful? So I'll have to Google this and see if I can see some colour suggestions for these, because I've got no idea. I don't know whether to do it monotone to look good in blues or purples, or should I do all different colours? I don't know. So I might have to Google that one and see if I can find any colour suggestions. Oh, and this is another one I got the other day that I haven't washed, haven't pressed. It's already been worked, this one. And it's just a little, look at all the marks on it though. It's very pretty. Might be good to use in the Needlebooks. Lots of blinking stains though. It's a very cute one. It's all been turned over, the edges turned. That's the back. Look how that stitching's done on the back. So that's another one. I keep coming across them. I started looking yesterday or Friday night. I started looking to see if I had any more unworked ones that I could part with. I thought I had more, and I'll probably do somewhere. I've been through that many boxes looking. I haven't come across any more yet. But I'm ready to part with. Now, if you can bear with me while I put these all back in the bag. I've dropped them on the floor, so if I don't put all these back in now, it'll be time to go back inside, and I like to do these videos out here for a couple of reasons. One, because the light's much better out here. No matter how many lights I use inside, I can't get a good lighting happening until I get a new ring light. And the other one is because I just like being outside. The butterflies are flitting around, the birds are out here. There's a couple of birds. There's a couple of little native birds here. A lot of people don't like them. They're noisy miners, but they are native. And there's a pair that have been living in, there's a shrub, a Maria, behind me, just over my left shoulder. Just in that direction there, probably 4 foot away from me. And it's a big one now. I got to the point where I couldn't keep pruning it because I couldn't reach. So it's taller than my house. But anyway, this Maria, there's 2 noisy miners, and I'm assuming they must be a breeding pair. They must mate for life, I'm assuming. I haven't found that much information on them, to be honest. Because for the last 5 or 6 years, these little guys lay in the Maria. They haven't built a nest, and they have their chicks. They usually have 2 to 3 chicks, usually 2. This is the last nest they built. That's the last one. So when the chicks fledge, they usually pull the nest out and throw it on the ground. Sometimes they'll come and harvest from it for the next nest, but I've ended up getting a collection of these nests that they build. Oh, there's a bit of seaweed. Look at that. Oh no, it's not. It's plastic. It's a bit of plastic. So I do have a collection of their nests. This year they've had 1 clutch, and the poor little chicks, we got a really big westerly wind and they got blown out of the nest. And I came out one morning, it was a Friday morning, and I noticed the nest was gone, because it's usually where I can see it when I come out the front door. So I went looking for the nest. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the chicks. The parents were squawking and carrying on, so I thought the chicks must still be around, because the parents normally, they go and grieve if the birds are taken, if the chicks are gone. But I found one of the chicks. I went to mow the lawn a couple of hours later, and I found one of the chicks on the fence next door. So I went and got it and brought it back. I thought, well, there has to be at least 1 more chick, because there's usually at least 2 to 3 in each clutch. So I kept looking, and I found the nest next door. It had blown up across the fence. And then a couple of hours later, I found the second chick. So I didn't have anywhere. I couldn't reattach the nest in the tree. So I got this poor thing. I've ruined it now. I made this. This was a tutorial I did with Kristen Peterson. Kristen Peterson did this tutorial for these beautiful. It was beautiful. The poor thing ended up becoming I ended up putting their nest in it, and then I've got an old vintage metal miner's basket hanging in the tree, so I hung it in the basket, put the little chicks in, and the parents came and kept feeding them. The stronger of the 2 chicks kept trying to fly away or kept getting blown away. He was very independent. I kept putting him back in and he'd jump out and hop up the branch. And then he'd get blown out of the tree and get blown up the road, so I'd go and chase him and bring him back and put him back in again. So that went on all day on Friday. All day, sorry. All day I was chasing these chicks and putting them back in the nest. So on the Saturday morning, the stronger of the two chicks ended up fledging. He started flying and he hung around for a few days. The weaker of the two didn't fledge until the Monday morning. But the parents are still around. They keep coming back. And they're always in this Maria here. I see them every day. They come in and out. And the other day I was standing here doing some stitching, and I was aware that the birds were in the tree. They were hopping around and catching insects and things. And then all of a sudden I felt a bit of a pinch or a push and a wing flap on my back. And I turned around and I said, you and I have been living here coexisting for the last 5 or 6 years, and you just had a go at me. What was that about? And I turned around, the bird was actually sitting on the railing behind me, and it had a spider in its mouth. So I'm assuming that it may have pulled the spider off my back. So that was pretty cool. Okay, now that we've got through all that, I still haven't done any more stitching on my collage, my vintage collage. Every time I sit, I have. I've done a little bit of running stitch down here. Every time I sit down to it, I either get called to go and help with something else, or I fall asleep. So I haven't got any more of that done yet. I have, however, started trying to pull some needlebooks. I'm not sure about this one. I'm really struggling with pulling these colours and whatnot. So what I have got, where have I put that? These are all bits that I soaked the last couple of days and dried yesterday. See this? Some of these stains still aren't coming out that I thought they would. Normally, admittedly, I didn't do a very strong soak because I didn't want the coloured stitching to run on the coloured pieces. But I'm starting to think these white and beige ones that have still got these stains, I might have to soak again and do a strong solution. I've got a lovely needle woven tablecloth behind me, a big round one. It's big. It's probably 2 meters in diameter. It's got stains all over it, and it's got wax on it. And I'm starting to think it just might be one to harvest, to use, cut up all the medallions, and I'll see if I can get it to show you. It's on the railing behind me. Oh, goodness me, I'm determined to keep kicking you to oblivion today. I'm sorry about that. You're probably getting nauseous or something, or migraine, getting kicked around. I'm sorry about that. I need a new ring light and stand, and a new phone. So everything's very makeshift at the moment. I apologise. So this is the needle woven tablecloth with all the stains and the wax on it. There's a bit of wax. So I have given it a good soak. It's a nice bright white, but I don't know whether I'd be better off just to harvest and use these medallions in other projects. I don't know. I just don't think I'm going to get those stains out. And I can't see any damage as far as breaks or tears or wear or anything though. So maybe I should keep trying to salvage it. I just hate You know, I do buy a lot of these things harvest. I used to collect years ago. I started collecting vintage linen and teacups because I used to host morning teas for charity, and I'd have to supply all the linen and the teacups sets myself. So I started collecting many years ago, and then when I got really sick and couldn't do it anymore, a lot of my stuff just went into storage. That's what I might be able to use. I will show you these in a minute. I'm just sorting through them a bit to show you what I'm thinking. This isn't all the bits I've been soaking. There's a lot more. I haven't brought it all out. What I've noticed too, I'd be curious to know if anyone else has had this happen. Some of the pieces I soaked last week, I hung them out in the sun, and I thought I'd gotten all the stains off them. Then when I went to get them out yesterday, I'm sure those stains have reappeared. Has anyone else had that happen? Is that normal? Does that happen? Or am I imagining it? Or were those stains did they not actually come out in the first place? I don't know. I feel like I'm going a bit batty. I thought, I'm sure those stains came out. I saw another one of those down here. I do have a few of these. Did you know what? I've spent hours today trying to sort these things so I wouldn't leave you guys hanging while I sort through it again. And guess what? That's exactly what I'm blinking doing. These are bits I found in my stash today that I've used in other projects, just bits of linen, bits of laces. This is a bit that I had indigo dyed some time ago, bit of crocheted lace. Just bits. So some of the other things that I make, I do little mini journals and little pouches, but I make them, no two are the same, and I use a lot of indigo. I do a lot of indigo dyeing, rust dyeing, eucalyptus dyeing, and painting. I paint the fabrics as well. I got these out today too. These are ones that I've done up for those other projects, for the rustic ones. I've hand stitched these, but you can see, excuse me, here's the hiccups. Every time I record I get the hiccups. They're here, they've arrived. So you can see there's paint on here, that was deliberate, and there's little bits of ink and whatnot on there as well. But these are bits that I embroidered to put in the journals, to put on journal wraps, to make little wrist wraps, all sorts of things I've used these for. Obviously I haven't used these ones, but I wondered whether I could put them in the Needlebooks. I don't know if it'll work. I don't think I like them with the paint for the Needlebooks, and I think if I do Needlebooks, I'd be doing it on linen, and I'll be doing threads that match whatever I'm doing. So again, these are ones that I've just written on, and I didn't use, you can probably tell, I didn't use my soluble marker because I couldn't find it. I ended up going out and buying some. I was just using a biro to write on, and then I've stitched over the top of it. That one's done with a perlate, so it's a bit chunkier. It's very chunky on the back, look at that. Here's some that I've written ready to stitch, but I've got marks on it. There's a dreadful stain on there. I don't know what I've done there. That's just on calico. Here's some more I've written on calico that haven't been stitched yet. Here's some on that white cotton. That was vintage Active cotton sheeting. It was beautiful fabric. I'm kicking myself now that I didn't keep it for nicer projects. So I've stitched a couple up here, but again they've got the paint on them. Got a bit sloppy on the back. There's some more that I've written but haven't stitched, with lots of paint on that one. Here's some on calico that I haven't stitched yet. Some more on, that's on that cotton. That was a Pearl 8 that I hand painted myself, but can you see what's happened here? I painted this thread. It was actually, I'm pretty sure I used ink on that one. But when I've ironed it, the ink's come out and bled on the cotton. So that won't work if it's going to be washed. I'd say that will come out quite a lot. So I'll have to remember that. These are just, again, just more that I've written down, haven't stitched yet. They've all either got paint on them, so I don't think, as much as I thought earlier it might have been a good idea, I don't think they're the right fabrics to stitch on if I was going to put words in the Needlebooks. I'll do it on white linen. I've got some lovely linen here if I'm going to do them. So that was something else I wanted to show you, if that all makes sense. I've got over here too, I just want to show you this. If you watched what I did with the cupcake pin cushion, I watched Kate of Kate in the Nest. She did a little tutorial on cupcake pin cushions, and I did one last week. And if you were watching, you would have seen that I saved all the bits off the blanketing. I've used blanketing to make the pin cushion out of, and I cut some of this up last night for Needlebooks. But I've kept all the bits I've cut off, and they will all be chopped up like this to stuff pin cushions with, because I always prefer to stuff my pin cushions with wool instead of polyester or acrylic, so your needles don't go rusty mainly. Right, so there's that I was going to show you, that I did show you. I've found I've got more of this. This was given to me all torn up, but I have used this a lot. I've dyed bits of it. So I thought that might be useful in the Needlebooks, possibly. Now, this is what I've got ready. This is one that I started to try and put together. This is a piece of cutter quilt I bought from Beck of So Be Curated. There's a lot of marking on the back, and I don't know whether I need to cover that or not. I don't know. And I don't know if I'm going to stick with this. I might change my mind, but so far I've got this piece of green felt on the inside. It's shifted so it's not lining up, and some reason it's small. I cut that, that's bizarre. I cut that the same size as that, so why is it suddenly smaller? I don't know what I've done. That's bizarre. Anyway, moving on. A sandwich tray. Now I put this in here and then realised this morning, this piece. So I think I'm going to have to put a bit of a pleat there because it sticks out too far. I didn't realise until this morning it's been repaired. See that? It's had a tear in it and someone's stitched it up. And I nearly thought I can't put that in my Needlebook, and then I thought, you know what? Why not? I like it. It gives it character. It has a story. So I've got that. And then I'm not sure about this yellow check. Yellow's one of my least favourite colours, yellow and brown. But it just felt like it worked. See, that would open like that. I quite like it, I think. So I put that in there, and then I might put, and again, these orders might change. I'm thinking I might put this hanky in with the butterfly, or should I do a green hanky there? I've got green. I've got a green one somewhere. I had it here earlier. Got that one. I was going to try and keep this mainly yellow, but now I'm thinking, what about that one? Or I've also got, I don't know whether I should use this because it might need to be repaired a bit. The seams come undone and the hammer man. So there's that green one, or this green. I could use that. But you can see that hem, so I'd have to do something with that because that's all higgledy-piggledy where it's come undone. So let me know what you think. A, should I leave the yellow check in there? B, which hanky should I use? The yellow butterfly, or the green flowers, the green hanky with the yellow flowers, or the little white linen napkin with the green stitching on it. Let me know what you think. So let's say we're going to go the butterflies for the sake of argument. No, we'll do this. Let's go the green hanky. Next. And I still think I need more layers here, different things, another piece of wool. That's beautiful, it's so soft, that piece of wool. And then I don't know whether to put, I had that like that at first, but when you close it, it just sticks out a bit too much. So then I thought, should I turn it into a pocket? But then if I do that, do I need another layer and then another central, or should I just do something like, I'm sure I had one out here, something like that. I feel like I need more colour. Oh goodness, I've knocked you over again, I'm sorry. And I also feel like I need to save this for the birds I was talking about are back. They're right behind my shoulder. I feel like I need to save this for something a bit pretty. So that's how far I've gotten with that one, with that needle book. And it's getting quite thick. So I don't know if I want to put much more in there except some details, some, you know, pretty bits. Then I've cut a piece of this bark cloth to do a needle book, and I think I will put a bit of pellin under this and do some running stitch on it as my base. So I've got this piece of bark cloth to do one, and it will go like that. I've got a piece of Sanderson. I've got a couple actually. I've got more than a piece, but I've only cut a couple because I don't want to get carried away. I probably already am. So I've cut a piece of Sanderson, either that way or that way. I feel like they're facing downwards though, which is why I originally did it that way, to be on the front. So it will open like that, and then Another piece of Sanderson. This one I've noticed when I was ironing it that it's actually got marks on it, so I don't know if I'll use it. I could possibly cover them, I suppose. So another piece of Sanderson. There's those marks. Then I've got, and I don't know, I'm not convinced yet this will work as a needle book cover, just because I'm just not sure about the print. So I've cut one of those for a needle book. And again, this next piece, I don't know if it would be any good for a needle book cover, or would it be better as a page in a needle book. Just trying to make sure I've got the front the right way. Now this is, I want to say vintage, and as I said the other day, I looked up the definition of vintage textiles and it says anything older than the year 2000. I know this is older because it came from my grandmother's. I've got all this lace, it's an unusual colour. So that might be better as a page instead of a cover for a needle book, I'm not sure yet. This one's really growing on me. I think I will, gee, that's twisted since I've ironed it. I think I will do one from this. I love this print. That's a brushed cotton, or potentially flannelette. It doesn't seem as fluffy as flannelette. This is brand new. This is, what would you call it? Dead stock maybe? It's never been used. It's been cut by the meter, but it's original vintage. Then I cut this one. This is, I believe, possibly Sheridan. It does have some age marks. So I've got that one, and I'm not convinced that would work as a needle book cover. I mean, it would, just not in this style that we're all doing at the moment. And I've got this piece, or that side. Again, I'm not convinced. Got another piece of this brushed cotton. Can't believe how much it's distorted since I've pressed it. I should have pressed it before I cut it. Then I've got this one. So I was thinking if I did one of these as a cover, I've got a bit of yellow I can put in there. It's another of the yellow and another of the Sheridan. And then I've cut larger ones as well. In the lace, in the Sheridan. Imagine that as a needle book. Look at the size of it. What did I say? That's Sanderson, not Sheridan. That might be the top. It's hard to tell which is the top. That flower's facing upwards, that flower's facing downwards. They're sort of facing towards us. And that looks like it's facing downwards, so that might be the top there. Then I've got this piece. I believe this is a modern linen, because when I googled this, it's still available, this print. It's still available in Japan anyway. So I've got that one. Another piece of that bark cloth. I love this bark cloth. My grandmother was making a skirt with this. I like that one. And then I was tossing up whether to make a cover out of this, or should I keep that to put inside one of them. So that could potentially be a needle book cover. Do you know what? I can see all this yellowing in there now through the monitor that I couldn't see with my bare eye. And then I've got this. I've only got 2 of these left. I've used them on other projects, but I saw Beck use the blue one to make a needle book. So I'm thinking I might use my pink one to make a needle book. What do you think? So that's where I'm up to. Still dragging the chain, aren't I? I also got this the other day. I want to show you this. I got 2 of these pillowcases. They're really good quality. They're quite thick. Got 2 of those. I can't find the other one. And I also got this. Where is it? I absolutely love it. It's quite ugly, but I love it. Where is it? I know it's here. I just heard it, I thought. Fiddlesticks. Okay. Got all these linens and textiles and yummy things to use. I'm sure I put it in here. Where has it got? Excuse me, here's the hiccups again. Here it is. So I got 2 of these, and I can't find what I've done with the other one. And they are machine embroidered, but they're quite nice, and I don't know whether I could harvest them, but they don't look like they've ever been used, and they're such good quality. 2 pillowcases, and I got this. Look at it. I looked it up. It's 1920s. It's a genuine Staffordshire, hand-painted, Shorter and Son Limited, England. It reminds me, my grandma gave me one years ago, and it was a leaf with these ugly big tomatoes, these 2 or 3 tomatoes on it, and they were real orangey red tomato, and the painting was so poorly done. Every time I looked at it, my skin crawled. I just detested it. So I gave it away, and then I found out not long after I gave it away that it was worth a bit of money. I thought it was some cheap Japanese thing she had. But this reminds me of that. It's similar colour. This is a basket weave though, hers wasn't. But I thought that was quite pretty. Look at that rose. I love it, but I hate it. I think I love it more than anything. There's no damage on it. Oh, is there? Oh, there's a tiny chip there. But yes, I thought that would be nice to put my, I don't know, some buttons or pins or something in. So that might be it today, for today. I'm still going to sit and try and get some needle books started this afternoon. So hopefully next time I'll have something else to show you. I say that every time, don't I? I just piled all those bags of textiles up and they're sliding off. I guess mainly today is I just want to check with Kathleen that I've got the right things that she wanted, and with Kristy if they're the ones you wanted, and yeah, let me know and we'll sort those out. Thank you for joining me. My neighbour's just pulled up, so my dog's going to start yelling. Thanks guys for joining me. I hope you might have learned something about it. Please stop yelling, mate. Stop yelling. It's Joe and Katie. Can you stop yelling? It's okay. You know who it is. Okay. Alright. So I hope you may have learned something or have been inspired to go and have a go at something yourself. As I said, thanks for joining me again, and I hope next time I'll have something new to show you. I keep forgetting to add, as I mentioned earlier, I'm in need of a new ring light stand and a new phone. My phone's over 5 years old and it keeps freezing. It doesn't stay charged. I have to keep it plugged in. The screen's cracked. It shuts down all the time. I can't stream videos. It's just all sorts of things I can't. I think this is the reason I can't upload my stuff to Made It, because my phone's dead. But anyway, I need a new phone. So if anyone's in a position or is interested to sponsor me with a new phone or a ring light, I will add an Amazon link and yeah, let you know what I'm looking at. I just thought it would be easier to use Amazon, because then there's none of this. Is this what you want? Is this what you need? I thought that might help. I hate asking, but all my friends and family have been encouraging me to put it out there. And if anyone's interested, it would help me if I got a new phone and a light stand. I would be able to put out more content. I'd be able to edit a lot more. I'd be able to get some of my finished items uploaded to sell, to get a little bit of money to get things done that I need to get done around here. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Again, thank you. If you're able to help or interested to help, I'll leave a link in the description just to my Amazon. That's about it, I think. Thanks again for joining me. Have a wonderful day. I hope you might get some stitching done, or I hope you've been inspired or something. Anything, really. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me again.